Here we go. All right. What's up? How's everybody doing? Let's get this party started. We're going to do a small version for this real quick. So tonight we are making Patriot pens. And that doesn't have to necessarily mean USA. You could have it from whatever country you're from. Not a big deal. Not limited to just the USA. So let's go ahead and get this party started real quick. We're going to start out here. There we go. What's up, Kelly? How are you doing? Yeah, so we're going to do some patriotic pens here. Now, the whole purpose on this design is to make it look like a flag. So I'm going to kind of swivel them around till they kind of look wavy. Hi, Red Squeak. Melissa, how are ya? Dragonfly. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got this rocking. All right, so we're going to do glow-in-the-dark version of this. I like the glow-in-the-dark pen by itself. But when we add the red and blue onto it, it looks cool. But as I was saying before, we can do them in any colors. So if you have a country that you want to support, you can. All right, here we go. We're going to start by preheating this and getting this guy all done. We're going to start with a small one first. There we go. Blow that open. All right, let's go ahead and preheat this and we'll get it over to the glow-in-the-dark powder and get this thing rocking. What's up? Hi, Joyce. All right, here we go. And there we go. Let's go ahead and add in the glow-in-the-dark glass real quick. I can speak, I promise. There we go. So we're kind of infusing that glow-in-the-dark in there. It's in a powder form. It makes it so easy to spread it around and make it even. If it was in a rod form, it'd be so much harder to do this. This just makes my life so simple. And Melissa, thank you very much for joining the school program. I sent you a little message saying thank you. Good to see you on there. So I started a school program, SKOOL, and I'm getting it all built up now. I'm adding to it every day now. We're going to start some courses and then we'll do some live stream from it, like private meetings. So if you have any questions about your art or how to get started on certain things, I'll be doing that live one-on-one or actually group session, but mostly one-on-one. And it just launched. Melissa was the first one to join. There we go. All right. So this is a little tip and trick that I had for this. So we got the glow-in-the-dark glass added in here. First thing I want to do is actually melt that glow first. And then we'll add the secondary colors. I used to do it a different way. I used to just add the color and then melt it all at once. But it seemed like it was getting a little clumpy. Like it didn't blend as well. And I couldn't figure it out why it was doing that. And I realized that everywhere I'm adding the color to, like the blue and the red that I'm going to add, is a little thicker. So the heat wasn't getting into the core, meaning the glow in the dark that's in the center here, as well as where there was no color added. So it was getting clumpy. All right, we got that part done. Let's get this blended and then we'll add the color. There's a good little revelation there. There we go. L to the B, how are you? Thank you. What's up? Yeah, we're kind of rocking. I'm rocking TikTok on the phone tonight. For some reason, when I run it on the PC, it doesn't give you the viewership. I don't know why. That's stupid too, but whatever. All right, so now we got that melted in there. And we're going to add the stripes on here to give the red and blue. The glow in the dark is the white, so I don't have to worry about that. And there's our core. So we got all the glow melted in here now. I can safely add the color. And then we'll go ahead and form this up. So to recap this a little bit, I don't make this like with the even stripes like I do my normal pens, not with the spiral. I kind of wave this around like a back and forth technique. And I try and make it look like a flag. All right, we got one there. Kind of like a flag blowing in the breeze. And again, if you're from a different country or you want to have a different set of colors done, you can certainly request that. And I don't mind making any different colors for a flag pen. I'm just doing it because I'm in the USA and that's the colors I'm doing. All right, we're going to take our blue and we're going to add it in. And then we'll stripe this guy down into a flag look. I might add clear in between here. I don't know yet. But right now we've got the blue going on. And this is a dark blue. So this is not the light blue. I add the dark because as we start to pull this and thin it out, it's going to get a little skinnier. Yeah, let's go ahead and add a little bit of clear in here. We'll try it that way because this tube is technically skinnier than I normally use. And if I was to be, no, I want to leave you a punty rod. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and get this clear on here and I'll show you pre-melting it. And there we go. So we got this rocking. Ooh, that was kind of tricky. So the red was kind of clear right there. I couldn't see it. I still can't see it. What a trip. All right, I'm going to try and bring this out so you guys can kind of visually witness it. So I'm going to hold it right out here. Watch in between there, that white section. This is going to kind of banana right now, but that's okay. Watch how that red stripe just kind of melds itself down in all the way from the ends and it starts getting all the way to the middle. Like that. That's the hard part about this. Is that red goes completely transparent when you're making it. And it was dumb to add that first. I know better than that. All right, now we got those colors pulled down. We're going to go ahead and stretch this out into the actual pen size. And as I do that, we're going to go ahead and start shifting the colors back and forth a little bit. So we got to get it heated up. Might puff a little air in there to open it up just a tad. Bring it out and puff it open. All right. Yeah, we got a little bit. Let's add a little air in there. Open this up a little. There we go. You can see those colors are starting to stripe around. They're kind of twisting a little. And that's exactly what I want. So we're going to bring it out here. Let it twist up a little. We're going to go right below that and twist it the opposite direction. Not very much. Again, I want it to look like a flag, like it's blowing in the wind. And there we go. We got that one going. We'll start pulling it down. Yeah, that's it. Then we're going to bring it over here. Got to pull this down a little bit tighter. Like that. About right there. It's about perfect. But you can see how the wave is just kind of loose going back and forth. And we're going to go ahead and separate this guy. I can bring it up and over. You can see we got all the patterns running through there now. And we're going to go ahead and burn this top off a little, pop a little hole in here. But before I do that, we're going to spiral the top. There we go. We're popping it down. Add a nice little flare to it. So now you can see the front has a nice little spiral right at the front. Oh, wrong camera. There we go. And there we go. All right, let's pop a little hole. That blue is not dark at all. I thought I used a dark blue. We may have to change this blue up a little. I thought that was a dark cobalt. All right, so we got the little hole there. Now that's where I'll put the kickstand. The kickstand is a little knob that goes on the end here. Stops the pen from rolling off of a table. But you can see we got the colors running through there now. I'm not happy with that blue. We're going to definitely have to fix that. Not pleased with it. Let me grab a different blue real quick. I'm not super happy with that. I'm going to actually grab two just in case I have a bigger issue here. I thought I had super dark blue with me. But maybe I did not. All right, we're going to try that. I know you're super dark. I thought I had the darker blue here, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I know this one's ultra dark, so I'm going to pop it onto an extension. And we'll pull it down a little, and we'll use that one next. See how much better it is. So we're just going to add a little extension here. We'll try it with this one. Like that. I'm going to do the same exact size. I was going to do a little bigger on the next one, but I really want to check this blue. Make sure we're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and pull the point down and get the next one done. So these actually glow in the dark too. They are completely glow in the dark. And that means under black light, they will glow. And in the dark, it will glow without a black light. It'll charge up from natural lighting. And we're going to start out here. Then we're going to pull our point. And if you decide you want to purchase one of these Patriot pens, just go into thefierieguy.com, purchase any one of the pens if they're up. I don't know if they're up right now. And you can purchase there, or you can go Made on Live and check the $35 option and mention Patriot pen, and you will get one of these pens. And there we go. Let's do a better job on this one. I'm going to do it a little bit better. All right, so we got to tear a little bit of this off. I pulled it long because I wanted to keep that point the right size. So we're going to rip some of this off. About like that. Then we're going to do our little puffy pop. Whoop. And then open it up. We'll add our glow-in-the-dark secret sauce here. After we preheat it. So the glow-in-the-dark glass, as I was saying before, is a powder form. It is very much like a talcum powder. And it allows me to spread the color in here super even on the inside. That way I don't have to take a rod and stripe it down over and over and over. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Use this little candle wax carving tool. This is for carving wax, to be honest. But it works really good for glass blowing. It's like a little fun little tool. You can find it for like $1 or $2. I don't care if it burns up. If you accidentally burn it, who cares? It's $1 or $2. Not a big deal. Wow, that only took 2 coatings on there. So now you can see we got it all completely encased with the glow-in-the-dark glass. And I got to move this to there. And we're going to seal it down now. So we got to close this end up. Just bring everything front and center. These are writing pens. By the way, they do actually write. They take Bic inserts. I can show you a blank pen after I get this one made. And you can see they're very easy to replace the ink on. Not a hard thing to do. And then we just have to melt that in, then we'll add our stripes. So we're just going to melt all that glow-in-the-dark glass in real quick. How's everybody doing? What's up? How you doing, Donna? Kelly's in the house. Okay, so we almost got it fully melted. Give it a second. We're going to puff it out a little bit because as I melt it in, that glass collapses down and shrinks the inside to very small. Like that. We're going to give it a second. Then we'll puff it open. There's a big misconception. You have to go right to the glass and blow on it. You have plenty of working time. All right, we're going to straighten it out because I wobbled it. And there we go, hand tune it. And again, these will actually glow in the dark. I don't know if I have any glow near me. I should always keep a piece of glow in the dark near me so you guys can see it. Because it's hard to describe. All right, we're going to take our dark blue and try that again. Let's go ahead and do the dark blue on here. This should be dark blue. And every blue manufacturer is a little different. So there's like 3 companies I can get blue from, and each one of them has a different grading system, if you will. One person calls it medium blue, and it could be a light blue from another company. But I accidentally mixed all of them up. So, yeah, I boo-booed there. All right, I think we got a much darker blue now. We're looking pretty good here. And let's go ahead and add the red. Again, the red, it goes completely transparent while we're making it. And there we go. We got stripe number 1. And we're going to wave it like a flag. So we're going to kind of make it look like it's blowing in the wind. I'm going to do a little tighter swirls on this one. Keeps the monotony out of my hair there. All right, let's go ahead and check out the red. We're going to use that one right there. Watch the center where it looks very white right now. Keep your eye on the center one. You're going to see it start creeping into more and more red. It's just going to start creeping its way down. Like that. And I show that because it's A, very cool, but 2, it's a little frustrating when you try and make this stuff and it goes clear and you can't see it. It's a little annoying. All right, we're going to balance it by adding some clear right in between. And almost done here. We're looking, yeah, we are done. All right, we got our base. We got all the stripes running down right now. Pretty straight. Not perfect, but it's not going to be perfect in the end anyway. We put the fun in functional. We're the fun channel. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy all wavied up. I might do one that's not, I don't know if I'll sell it, but I might do one just for fun that has a bald eagle on the end, or an eagle. Like an eagle pen. It wouldn't be really functional, like everyday use, but it'd be a cool desk piece. Put a little eagle on the end of it. All right, we got the whole thing hot. We're going to start with the rotation here up at top. We're going to go a little tighter than we did before. So we're just twisting it in one direction, like that. Gonna let it settle. Gonna come right below that and twist it opposite direction. Give it that wavy look. There we go. And then we'll come down here and go the other direction again, switch it back up, do a switchback. All right, here we go. This is the Patriot pen. And again, if you're from a different country, you don't have to have red, white, and blue. We can make them in any color. You can be patriotic to your country, not a problem. In fact, I think it's pretty admirable to be. And there we go. So we got it running that direction. So that's kind of switching back. This one right here, though, I'm not completely satisfied with. Let's go ahead and switch it back up a little. I'm going to give it a little bit more of that wavy action. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That little beauty right there. That looks way better than the first one. That looks way, way, way better. This blue is definitely much better than the other one. We're going to come over here and give it that fun little spiral treatment at the very end. That's pretty chunky up there. We've got to pull it way down. There we go. Got it. I like it. So we got some really fun colors running through it this time. Now it looks good. That is pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and pop a little hole in there. Oh, come on. And then the hole is where we'll put the little knob, and that's where the kickstand goes. I call it a kickstand so it doesn't roll off the table. Because I do get them pretty round, and they do like to roll around. So we just parked a little hole right there. Very basic. I think it looks good. In fact, oh, don't fall. Damn it, don't fall. Don't you do it. I have a little flower in there. I don't know if you can see the difference between those two blues, but there's definitely a difference between those two blues. The first one down below is very, very faint. I'm going to do something funky with it. I can't sell it that way. Definitely can't sell it that way. All right, we're going to go ahead and expand a little bit bigger. So we're going to use a little bigger tubing. And then I'll be able to pull it down a little tighter and get much tighter swirls in there. Little switchbacks back and forth. So we're going up a one size tube, about 1 1/4 inches or 32 millimeters. And we're going to use my spoon. We're going to spoon it. Who doesn't like a little spooning? All right. I think we're hot enough. We're going to go ahead and grab that glow-in-the-dark glass. This one, I can get big-ass chunks to it. I can almost get it in one pull. You can see right there, it's pretty evened out right now, just on one. But I'm going to do a second just to be safe. Now, I'm not going all the way to the end because I know I'm going to cut a lot of that off. It'd be a waste of glass. Glow in the dark. And we are chunkied in there. I got to bring it over careful, but you can see on the inside, it's now fully encased on the inside. Sorry, I'm having to change cameras because we are mobile on TikTok tonight. I'm not using the PC. We're completely mobile. So why use a bigger tube for the next pen? Why did I up the size 1 degree? I can now add 4 stripes instead of 3 on there. Because of the width, I can add 1 extra stripe, creating a little bit more of a pattern to it. So I went up 1 size, and it'll allow me to do 4 instead of 3 comfortably. And that is why I primarily did that. So we'll be able to do 4 stripes instead of 3. We're going to go ahead and melt that glow in the dark in real quick, and then we'll add our stripes. So that is the purpose for going up 1 size. So we'll start here, bring it down. Then I'll add my color. I think we're going to get thunderstorms here tonight. It feels like it's going to thunder and lightning tonight. I can feel the rain ready to come, which means it's pretty warm. We're going to get a little bit of lightning. Not complaining, I like lightning. When I lived in Las Vegas, the lightning shows there, when it did happen, oh my God, they were amazing. Lightning in the desert's freaking awesome. All right, there we go. We got that one melted in a little. Gonna give it a small puff of air, like that. We're gonna melt the rest of this glow in, and then we'll stripe it. So you'll see the difference between the 4 and the 3 stripes. I'll finish this up. I'll bring them out so you can compare the visual on it. And we'll take a look at it. What's up, Dale? How you doing? All right, let's get it all melted in. We're almost there. And there we go. So what's happening right here is I have to heat enough of that tubing up so it melts the glass on the inside of the tube, not just on the outside. And that seals all that glow in the dark in there. And I don't have to worry about it falling out in the middle of the process. And there we are. Give it a puff of air. Just to expand it a little. Let's go ahead and do 4 stripes instead of 3 and see what we got. Okay, so we're going to start with the blue again. We're going to bring it down one at a time. Now what I do is I go to the opposite side and split it in half, and then I can split it in quarters. Like that. So you can see we kind of went halfway around. We'll come over to the other side. We'll split it in quarters right now. And then we'll grab our red and do the red. All right, we got blue on all the way around. And we're going to add red right in between. And we're going to start here. There's one. Two. Three, and one more. Then we'll fill in the gaps with clear. So there we are. So we got stripes running all the way around. Now the red, see that little red section? It'll pop out. You'll see it get darker like that. It does that all over the place. I just have to get over that. Okay, we're going to fill in the gaps in between. So why am I adding the clear? We got the red and blue stripes on there, and I kind of want to balance the tube out. I want to keep it as even as possible for wall thickness. So I just kind of fill in the gaps with clear. And that way when I go to stripe it around, it doesn't make it all funky. We can go pretty fast on this process though. And here we go. Two more to go. And is that all good? Yeah. And now we got a big old chunk of glass. All right, we have stripes running all the way around. What's up, Nat? How you doing? All right, there we go. John, what's up? How you doing, man? All right, here we go. So we're going to tear off the end. Just a little bit of it. And there you go. So we tapered it all down, brought all the color up to the front, spiraled it up a little. We're going to go ahead and attach our holding rod and give this thing a twist and shout. So we're going to wig-wag it back and forth, kind of switch back. This one I'm going to go super tight on. Just got to get it super hot. All right, we're all blended right there. Let's go. We're going to start with this end and really twist her up. Like that. Let it cool. I have to let it cool because if you go too fast and you go back at it, you end up untwisting the top. It actually uncoils it. And I do not want that. This might have been way too big. Might have put way too much glass on here, but that's okay. Better to have too much than too little. So there's one more twist there. Come right below it and do the next one. Oh, this one is getting super tight. That's what I call a twisty. This is exactly the way it should be. Come back and switch it back again. Yeah, we definitely put too much glass on here, but that's okay. Like I said, I'd rather have too much than too little. Gonna kick it down one notch here. Just like that. So this is very, very nice. This is exactly the way they should be. Okay, we're going to go ahead and burn this off up here. Put the little hole in there for the kickstand. I'm going to leave that spiral really nice and tight, kind of pointy too. So I'm going to try and show both ends here, both cameras. There we go. You can see we got it really tight. That's definitely a big difference. I'll bring the other one out so you guys can see it. Whoa, she's thick. Wow. That got thick. Well, let's go ahead and bring them out. Can you see a difference between the two? I'm hoping you can see the difference between them. The bigger one definitely has more stripes and coils to it. The smaller one down below, it still looks very good, but there's a massive difference in there. That's a big, massive difference. We're going to let those heat up a little. I'm going to cut this one down real quick, and then we're going to use a smaller point here. And I'm going to do one out of red, white, and blue no glow. really going to coil the hell out of it. So this one I'm going to do, I'm just cutting the piece down, getting it ready for the glow in the dark. We're going to grab our point from before, and we're going to use red, white, and blue, the actual color, no glow. I'll throw a little glow in there. Maybe it'll last. Maybe it'll show a little bit. We'll throw a little bit of glow in there, see if it sticks. Okay, we definitely want to cut this one down a little. We got that big old wasty, chunky monkey. Let's see if my temperature gauge is working. All right, right now I am 101 degrees. So I'll bring it out here. So my body temperature right at my chest is 101. You can see on the little meter there. So I got a little probe right there, and I'm trying to show you guys how hot it gets. So right now, this area of me is 101. Okay, we're going to set this in the kiln, grab the small one, and then we're going to do red, white, and blue. With just red, white, well, yeah, I said I would throw a little glow in there. Yeah, right now it's about 101. 101 degrees, that's not too bad. 101's not bad at all. If it gets up to 130, that's when it starts to get a little warm. All right, let's go ahead and get this preheated. And there we go. Yeah, let the trolls have fun tonight. Let them troll. It's all good. All right, so we're going to heat this up. We're going to throw a little bit of glow in the dark here. I'm not too concerned with that color. We're going to throw just a little bit in there, and then we'll start doing red, white, and blue. But we're going to use the white rod this time. So we're going to use all three colors in a rod. Take our spoon out. Go ahead and get it blended here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I didn't get it quite hot enough. That's a bad blend. Definitely didn't get it hot enough. All right, one more. One more. So the material I just put in there is glow-in-the-dark glass. It is ground up like a talcum powder size. Very, very faint. Very fine. Okay, we're going to seal this off. So this one I'm going to add a little, we're going to add a little kick to it. You'll see what I mean when we get to the part. We're going to add a little surprise. Little bitty surprise. And I need a short little punchy rod. Did I bust it off somewhere? All right. There we are. So first things first, just blend this glow in. Get it melted in there. There we go. Kick it down right here. About like that. All right, let's go. I hope I have enough glue here. I really hope this is enough. Gonna have to use a small plate. We'll do the blue first. We'll add the blue in there first. I think I might be able to stretch this out. And there we go. So we got blue on. So slight design change on here when we go through this. So normally I would take the red and split that in between, but because we're adding the white, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to park the red next to the blue, and then I'll park the white next to the red. And that way I can keep my spacing even. I won't need to add any clear to this, because it's already going to be pretty tight. The only difference is the glow in the dark won't show up as bright as the others that I just did. But this is just a little mechanical change for design. So we got the red on. We're going to grab our white and go right in between those now. Ooh, that's a tight one right there. That's barely fitting. That's a tight fit. And that's it. So now we got red, white, and blue stripes all the way around. We're not counting on the glow as being the white right now. We're just having it as a little bit of an accent. Not the most important part. It's just like a little bonus. All right, we're going to heat it up. Give it a little twist. You can definitely see the spiral on this, so I'll bring it back over here. You guys can see that little spiral happening right there. And I need to grab a punty rod. So again, this design is going to be a slight bit different. It'll still be red, white, and blue, and it'll kind of have that wavy look, but we're adding one little fun nugget to it. Okay, so we're going to heat here and here. We're going to leave the middle alone. Get this all warmed up. All right, let's start at the back end here. This will be the top of the pen. Bring it out here and twist. Just like that. So we're really spiraled there. We're going to come right below it and do that same thing. These are looking good too. I love making these pens. Okay, we pulled that twist down the same direction as that one. Okay, before I go too far, I'm going to seal this down a little. The part I'm working on right now is where the ink insert goes, the Bic pen. So the Bic insert will go in this section here. Now, this is the key right here. This is where we're going to change it up. We're going to corkscrew it the other way, but we're going to go super tight on it. Like that. And then I got to puff a little air in there because it collapsed down pretty much a long way. There we go. You have to smooth it out. Like that. All right, let me get the rest of this finished up and we'll show it off. So this middle section has a definite corkscrew running through it. You can't see it right now, but on the inside, that glow in the dark is spiraled up. It literally has a corkscrew. We're going to do one more after this where I'm going to show the corkscrew and it's going to be very visible. We're going to do another alternate version of this. There we go. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and get this one all finished up. So I'm going to redo that, but you can see in the middle here, it definitely has that. Sorry, TikTok, you guys are going to miss out on that, but you can see that corkscrew running all the way through in there. We're going to spin this up. Pull all that color down. All right, so we're just going to heat this up, blow it open a little bit. The next one's going to have a freaking awesome corkscrew in the middle. You will definitely see it's going to be 100% visible. There we go. That balanced it out a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and pop that hole for the kickstand. There's a little hole. So why don't I finish the pen right from the beginning here, like go right down here. This cooled off too much. If I hit it with the flame, it will absolutely crack. It will definitely crack right there. So we're going to let that reheat in the kiln. And then I can come back and finish those up in just a little bit. Now we have that original point that we pulled here. And this one, we're going to corkscrew the hell out of it. This is like one of the techniques that I developed that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorites. We're actually going to take a little white frit and put it in there first. Actually, you know what? Why not do it that way? You know what? We're going to totally make this amazing. Hold on. I actually have a really good idea for this one. I want to show that corkscrew. But we're going to do this one way different. Way, way different. Okay, I got to move my glow in the dark out of the way real quick. And we're going to grab our blue frit. So we're going to use cobalt blue frit in here. We're going to do a little cobalt down here. We're going to do glow in the middle, red at the top. So we're going to add cobalt blue frit into the bottom. We're going to do the whole thing frit, no stripes on the outside. A little bit there. So this will be kind of like a tiered setup. So instead of stripes running down, it'll have three different sections to it. All right, so there's our cobalt added in right towards the front. So this is blue. And we got to grab our red. I only have a little bit of this red in here. This is going to be a little tricky. Yeah. I only have a little bit of this red right now. I don't have much of it. We're going to add the red to the top section. There we go. Oh, really? I got to do my captcha. Hold on. Hey, I got my captcha. TikTok picked the wrong time to do that. All right, let's get more of that red on there. Man, I don't have much of that in here. This color that I'm using is called cherry red. It's not the translucent red Elvis. This is actually a cadmium color called cherry. It's the appropriate color for it. since George Washington cut down the cherry tree, right? All right, let's get that out of the way. So now we got red and blue. Red at the top, blue at the bottom. We're going to add the glow in the dark and make the white. And we'll just start adding that in there. Now the trick is when I add this glow, I can't recycle it back in here because any blue chunks or red chunks that get in there will end up contaminating my entire glow. So I got to dump it in the water. I don't want to contaminate my glow. One more pass. And there we go. Let's get that out of the way. This one's going to be wicked cool. Again, no stripes to it whatsoever. Let's check my temperature probe. I'm still only at 101. Not bad. All right, we're going to seal this off. There we go. Yeah, this one's going to be, oh, I can't wait to show you guys this. So this one, you will definitely see a corkscrew in the middle. I kind of pride myself on this part right here that we're about to do. This took me a while to figure out how to do it. This part definitely took a little while. All right, so we're going to heat up the middle. We're only heating the middle. Middle only. Get it nice and gooey. There we go. Open it up so that pen insert fits in there. Can you guys see that spiral at all? I don't know if you can see that spiral, but it's definitely in there. Let's go ahead and finish this guy up. That little trick right there took me a while to get down, to get it right. All right, we're shrinking it all down now. This is the blue section. This is where the cobalt is. There we are. And let's get the red done. Gonna have to use a smaller flame here. And you'll definitely, when I bring it over to the camera, you'll definitely see the corkscrew in there. It's like a little twisty corkscrew right in the middle of the glass. This part does take a second though to get it right. Right here. Okay, I'm going to try and get this blue. Hope it doesn't crack. This stuff gets very sensitive right here. It does not like going back and forth in the flame at all. But I have to pull this down a little to get it evened out. There we go. All right, we're going to finish this off. And then I will show you that little corkscrew. I wish you could see the red. I can't see it either right now. It looks very brown. That's the only drawback of this color when it's hot. It looks brownish. Pop a little hole in there. So just a tiny little hole. Here we go. And then I'll show you this corkscrew. It's beautiful. This piece is awesome. So I'm going to bring it over. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to show TikTok first right there. And we'll bring it over here. You guys can see that little spiral running through there. And then there's the red and the blue. But yeah, there you go. So that little corkscrew is going to glow in the dark. I like it. All right, we're going to go ahead and start finishing off some of these pens here. I'm running out of room in the kiln in the front. So we got to punty it up and then pull this little bit off and open it up for the actual pen insert. So I got to cut it off up here. And then we'll start the insert process. We'll be using Dragonfly Creations pen tool. So this will help you get the right size for your ink. If you're a glass blower and you don't have this tool, you should get it if you want to make pens. Got to pull it way down here. Right about there. So we got to wait for it to cool for a second, then we're going to clean it up, open it up, and then we'll make the fitting perfect. Takes me just about as long to do this part of it as it does to make the whole rest of the pen. But this is kind of where all the force goes, all the pressure, so you got to make it super nice. So we're going to take that, open it up, clean that off. Got a little tight fitting right there, so we're going to have to open it up by manually. That's the wrong size, I think. Yep, that's definitely the wrong size. There we go. So this is Dragonfly's little ice picky tool. And that tells me that it's got a perfect fitting. So now the Bic insert will fit in that little opening right there. We have to garage it with a little stick on there for the moment. Let me show you the pens that we use. So this is like your standard Bic pen that I use. I'm going to zoom that in. So just this standard Bic pen, you just take it apart and you take out that insert, and that's the insert that fits into the actual pen. Very easy to come apart. I'll leave that out because I'm probably going to have to show it more than once. But yeah, that's the insert that goes in there. Very easy to find. Not a problem. All right, let's do the next one here. We'll do the super one. This is like the one that had the 4 stripes on it. And then we'll go off and make another version of the stuff. We're going to puntee that up. Like that. Turn this fan off. It's getting too much air. So we got to cut it off right about there. We're going to cut it off. I'm going to try and save this little end over here. All right, we're going to save this little guy. And we're going to go ahead and trim this up. This pen looks freaking awesome too. There we go. All right, one more little bit. This one's going fast. This isn't taking long. There we go. Clip it off. Check our measurements. Perfect. We'll line it up against Dragonfly's pen maker. Perfect. Got a little scrubby up here. So that one's finished now too. No, we'll almost finished. We'll come back to it. I'll seal up, put the kickstand on it, and remove the back end. But you want to build these in stages. If you don't, you do take a chance on cracking them. All right, we're going to take this guy. This is the little flag part that we had from before. And we're going to turn it, I'm going to see if I can turn it to a flag, an actual flag. Look. I'm going to tear this off right here. We're going to flatten it out. So we're going to heat it up, blow it out a little bit, flatten it out, and see if I can get it into a flag shape. Kind of. And if it works, I'll attach it to a pen. I'll put it on the end of a pen so it looks like a flag floating on the end of the pen. Not 100% sure it's going to work. This I've never done, so we don't know. I'm going to twist it one direction, heat it up. So we're twisting one direction this way. I'm going to come down here, go the opposite. And then we're going to open up the front, flatten it, and see if I can get that flag. Like that. Nice little twist. Now we just have to open this end up. Little unepic little pop right there. Like a little poofy pop. All right, now we have basically that little coiled piece right there. We're going to heat it up and smash it. Going to smash it in one direction though. I want to push all the air out of it. I don't want any air left in this. Okay, that's smashed. Grab our scissors and cut it off. So I got to cut this little chunk off. Snip it up. Get rid of that. Flatten it out a little. I'll try and show you guys all together here. So now we got those crisscross patterns going through there. Red, white. Now the red's not showing up all the way yet, but it will. Plenty it up here. Let's see if I can get it into a flag. I might have thinned it out too much. like flatten it too much. Okay, let's start bending it. Oop, got a little nubby on there. All right, one more little bit. So far, so good. We're going to trim this one down a little. We just have to cut it. All right, I think we got it. I think we got a little flag on there. So we got a little wavy to it. Now we're going to make a pen for it. This one I'm just going to do glow in the dark, and we'll add the red, white, and blue flag to it. We'll do it all glow in the dark. And if I was going to be that, I would use you. All right, let's go. What do you think? Did that look like a flag or what? Was it pretty close? I know wrapped around would be really cool, but I have to figure that out a little bit. I was thinking the same thing. I could wrap it around. All right, come on, break. There we go. We're going to make this full glow with that big old corkscrew in the middle. I'm going to add a little white frit to it, though. We'll add a little white in there. Oops, shit. That was bad. Bad idea. Bad, 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 bad. I should have warmed that up a lot better. Like slower. That could have definitely blown up. That was like a huge mistake. Luckily it didn't do it, but it could have been bad. I should have warmed it up a little slower. Don't do that. What's that phrase? Do as I say, don't do as I do. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was a bad mistake right there. That was not a good move. All right, let's warm this up. It is a little warped though. I got to fix it before we go too far. It is definitely off balance. When you get to the end of the tubes, you have very little room to hold everything. So when you start to pull your point, they can be a little warpy. You can see right there. You can see it's got a little wobble to it right there. Now that wobble doesn't seem like it'd make a big difference, but it really will. That wobble's bad. So before we go too far, we're going to fix the wobble. And the wobble is strictly in this section right here. That's where it's wobbling. The rest of the tube is pretty straight. And it's still really pliable. But while we're doing that, we just kind of straighten it out. Now to straighten this out, I'm actually pulling it apart very slow. I'm keeping a little tension on it by pulling on it just a touch. I'm not pulling very hard on it, but I'm keeping a little tension on there, and that's what's keeping it straight. So you pull just ever so slightly, and that'll keep all the tension on there. Now we can open it up and get ready to do our glow in the dark. Do our fun nugget. And here we go, pop. So for this one, we're going to punch it up with a little bit with white frit. Some dust or something in there. And then we'll add the glow in the dark. So this will kind of have a two-stage white to it. We're going to use our magic spoon. Magic spoon. Hey, TikTok, how's the audio, by the way? I'm using an entirely different microphone for TikTok versus YouTube. I'm hoping it's coming through pretty clear. We got two mics on. Audio's good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm using an entirely different mic setup for that. All right, here we go. We're going to add our glow in the dark in there. Thank you for acknowledging it. I appreciate that. So this one, we're going to put a massive corkscrew in here. We're going to twist the heck out of it. We're going to put a big old corkscrew in it. And then we'll attach the flag. So there we are, we got that. You can see see a little bit of that frit with the glow in the dark there. There's the inside of it, like that. All right, close it up and let's twist. Can I get a big twist in the shout? In the chat, can you guys give me a big twist? The bigger the shot, the bigger the twist comments, the more I can do the twist on here. Give me some motivation here. A little bit of twist. All right, guys, let's go. I got to find that exact right size that I need to use on this. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the twist. Thank you, thank you. Let's see how many spirals we can get in this guy. Let's see how many spirals we can get through this. It's a little short, but let's see how many spirals we can go. Heat the whole thing up. I should poof a little air in here first. Let me get it just melted in and expanded just a touch before we go too far. Now notice when I do this, I'm blowing it in a downward direction. I don't want to go this direction. I have a chance that a little piece of glass will fly through that tube and land right in your mouth. That sucks. Nothing worse than a 2,000-degree piece of frit running in your mouth. All right, here we go. Twist and shout. Open it up. I think we got a good amount in here. Okay, and then we're going to go to the back end, see if I can get a little bit more. Okay, last little bit. I'm going to try and wind up the back end here quite a bit. All right, now I just have to smooth that. We've got a lot in there. Got a lot of little corkscrews in there. A tremendous amount, actually. Let me just round this out. And there we go. All right, I'm going to bring it over. We'll do the, I don't know if you guys can see all those running through there. We'll bring it over to the tubes. So there we are. We're starting at the top, working our way down. So we got quite a few in there. Let's go ahead and add that little flag on there. Burn it off there. I think I'm going to add a little tiny red to the top. Give it a little touch. So there we got a flagpole. That's the flagpole pen. That's what it is. So now we got a flagpole. Actually, it's kind of cool. It's a little big, but it works. We're going to go ahead and park that in the kiln. And while we're doing that, I'm going to gold fume this little flower. So I got to gold fume this one. You guys can see it's all yellow. So we're going to change the color of this guy up. We got to change it up. We're going to add a little tiny bit of gold to it. So right now this process is called gold fuming. So the gold is going to vaporize in the flame and go right onto this flower. Actually, it's turning kind of weird. It's kind of cool. This might have been one of those experimental colors. So now you can see we kind of change up that color with gold. There we go. Bring it right up there. So that is pure gold being vaporized onto it. Like that. Kind of looks cool, actually. But that piece has been bugging me for a while. It's been sitting out for a little bit. Okay, next step, we got to finish this one off. So this is that corkscrew one we did there. So we got that flag piece running all the way out here. We got to finish this one off. So this is the part where I'm going to open it up for the ink insert. We're multitasking today. So we'll cut it off right here. Don't need a giant flame for it. And again, this is where that Bic insert goes in, the pen. The actual ink part goes in right here. Get rid of that, clean it up, open it all the way. I'm on the wrong view. Sorry, TikTok, or sorry, YouTube. So we're going to just take it and we just open it up a little bit, pull it down. Make that glass so thin right there that it has no choice but to kind of snap. And then we trim it and knock it out from there. Again, if any of these pens you guys are interested in, let me know. thefieryguy.com. Okay, now we just have to trim it up, seal it down. Okay, got that. Let's use Dragonfly's tool. This is the finishing tool right here. And it's perfect. So there's the pen. We'll finish the back half up in just a little bit, but there we go. This one's freaking sick too. They're all looking good except for that first one. Okay. Oh, we have to do this one. Finish this one. And then we'll start making some other fun stuff. So you notice I'm building them in stages. And the reason for that is I'm letting, as I heat one end up and the other end is cooling off, I let it kind of re-soak in the kiln at 1100 degrees. And it will stop it from cracking. It's not 100% bulletproof. I mean, it doesn't stop it all the time, but it definitely stops 90% of that problem of it cracking later. So you work it in stages. Do a little bit, work one end, finish it off, put it back in the kiln, come back and work on it again. This is called garaging. You basically garage it in kiln. And then you can come back and get back at it. There we go. A little bit more. This one's being a little more stubborn. This one will glow in the dark as well. Go ahead and get this opened up. There's my finishing tool. And perfect. All right, so we're going to do a little different version again. I'm kind of doing all this patriotic colors. I'm having fun with the Patriot colors. So we're going to do white and blue, blue frit, white glow, and then I'm going to add some red accents on here. So we're going to kind of change things up again, another direction here. Let's see how hot I'm running. Actually, it's not as hot. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not really probing that hot. Yeah, it's only like 98 degrees right there. Not bad. Not too bad at all. All right, let's do, so we're going to do blue frit, glow in the dark, and then I'm going to add red accents. Actually, I'm just going to snip this one. It's already too short. So again, too long. I'm going to cut half of this off. Just about half. We're going to warm it up slow this time, though. And that stops it from firing right back at me. Okay, we're safe. All right, so we got to get this hot. We'll pull this off. I think I have a little candy apple in there too. Maybe we'll use candy apple for the red. We'll use candy apple red. I think I got a little candy apple sitting in my vase over here. My spare color vase. Candy apple, what do you guys think? Candy apple red? Good night. Night, Kelly. All right, let's get this all melted in. We'll get some glow in the dark, some blue and some glow in the dark in there. Get my gold out of the way. I don't want this getting mixed into anything. So we're going to do blue speckle, glow in the dark, and then we'll add the candy apple in there. Go ahead and add our blue. So right there, we added a little bit of blue all the way around. It looks very orangey right now, but it's definitely cobalt. We're going to pop the glow in the dark glass in there. Make sure I didn't get any blue in there. Good night, John. Thank you. All right, there we go. We've got the blue with the glow in the dark glass. This is like one of my favorite combos right here. I do like this color a lot, this color combo. It never fails to be awesome. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to add red into it. For that red, white, and blue. Okay. We'll seal this down a little, shrink it, and then we'll get to the rest of this. So while I'm shrinking this down, do we put a twist in it or do we, yeah, we'll definitely do dots of some sort. Do we put a twist in it or leave it straight? What do you guys want? Do you want a twist in there or leave it just completely straight? Twist or straight? You guys decide. Just type in chat, twist. There we go. Ooh, that's sealed down. You think a twist? I can't twist the red. This thing is really focused on the blue and white. Red is going to be an accent. All right, looks like twist is winning here. So we're going to pop a twist in it. This one I'm going to do just a center twist. We're going to make it very prominent. We're going to focus just this one big twist right in the middle. I got to blow into it to open it up. That twist gets really tight in the middle. And if I'm not careful, it can actually make it so the ink won't fit through there anymore. Like the ink cartridge. That is super awesome though, right there. That came out perfect. That's exactly what I want. That one did come out. Actually, I think for the red, we'll use the red on the kickstand. I don't want to add too much red onto this. It looks really good as is. So we'll add the red for the kickstand, a big old chunky marble on there in candy apple red. It'll definitely show up extremely well. That candy apple red will pop on there really good. I don't want to add too much onto it. Get this section all worked out perfect. I was trying to think of if I could do a firework type look, but I can't think of how to do fireworks on it yet. Okay, we got that section done. We're going to come to the back end. This looks really good, by the way. It looks really fantastic. This twist is So the other one had a lot of twist to it. This has less, but it's more prominent. You could definitely make it work really, really well. We're going to bring it out here. And there we go. Ah, this front. My fanboys are back. I got fanboys on TikTok reporting my live stream again. Aren't they cute? I got fanboys on TikTok reporting my live stream. That's okay. Go ahead and report, monkeys. And there we go. Oh, man. Oh, this has a really cool streak to it. I didn't intend on this, but it created this really long blue streak to it. Wow. All right, let's appeal this. All right. I always win my appeals too. There we go. Yeah, my fanboys are on TikTok. They always love coming in and reporting my live stream because they're all jealous. It's okay. They're like all upset. So they report my live stream for the ramp. It's the wambulance. All right, let's go. All right, let me pop this hole in here where we're going to put the red. And then I got to show you this. This looks really amazing. Awesome. Oh man. So I don't know if you can see that really dark blue streak right there. It just came out amazing. Check out that dark blue streak that went through there. And there's that corkscrew that popped through. You got that really nice tight corkscrew going through there. A rocket ship would be kind of cool. Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. All right, we're going to see if we can finish this guy off. I forgot to put a hole in this. Uh-oh. I don't know how I'm going to do that. This one may go bad. I forgot to put a hole in it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to fix this. This flag is way too big. I'm not happy with it. It's way too big. So I'm trying to wrap it a little bit around. There, that actually shortened it up just about the right length. That shortened it up a good amount. It kind of wrapped it around the whole piece. In fact, I wonder if I could do that. That looks way better. That looks so much better. It like wrapped around. Now it's wrapping almost around it. I'm going to bring it over and wrap it just a little bit more. Going to have to do it manually with the tool here. That looks so much better. The red's not showing up yet, but that looks way better. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this back in the kiln, but that looks better wrapping around it. All right, let's finish some of these pens off. Let's put the kickstand on. Got blue here. I should have put white. Nope. Blue. So I always put these little nubs on there, and that stops it from rolling off of tables. Oh, you broke in the wrong spot. I'm going to have to do it manually. That part sucks. All right, I got to come up with a better tool for this. There we go. Got a little glow in the dark glass powder on there, but that's okay. That'll fall right off. Put a little blue on this one. I wonder if this will hold it. I don't have my little things on there, but no. That's definitely better. Much easier to hold. Finish that guy off. And where's the other one? This one. So these are the finishing points. And if I were blue, I would be right there. Again, those little knobs are just designed to stop it from rolling off a table. Oh, this is the one I did not like at all. Did not like this one at all. This will definitely go in a grab bag. It's very good. It's a cool pen, but this one's going in a grab bag. Technically nothing wrong with it. Just didn't get as dark blue as I wanted. Nope, just finished you. This is the red, white, and blue. We got to do the red, white, and blue. So we got to do the ink insert right here. So we got to add the spot for the ink insert here. This is the red, white, and blue Brit version. This one's freaking cool. I like this a lot. I may need to get some more red Brit. Dragonfly, thank you for the membership. Oh man, I like this. This one's freaking cool. I like this one a lot. I think I got ruby red Brit here. I have to find it. But I think I have some ruby too. I like the cherry or the ruby. Both are just as good. But I really like this one. Oh, this is definitely one of my favorites right now. I don't know what I do with that tool. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Yep, getting hiccups. So this is the part where I'm making the fitting for the Bic insert that goes in. Just have to straighten it out. It's a little wonky. I really like this one. That one kicks butt. I really, really, really like it. I don't know if you can see that red starting to come out. We got the, and this will glow in the dark. Super stoked by it. All right, so we got to do this flag one. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it this way. I really, really don't. So we got to cut this off, but I can't do it. I don't have a hole in it. So I got to do it a different method. Oh, it cracked. Oh, it's cracking. Maybe it'll open up. It's definitely cracking. That might be actually perfect. Maybe it hurt me because it cracked just in the area I don't want it to have any stuff on. Maybe it worked out. Maybe I got lucky tonight. Maybe I got lucky. I think I got lucky. So that one has that twisting running all the way down it. It's insanely twisty. And we're going to go ahead and get this one locked up. Then I'll grab the candy apple after I get this done, and we'll lock the candy apple onto it for the finish. All right, so we're going to open it up here. I don't know. This one might be one of my favorites too. It's pretty sick looking. I mean, this is really nice. This one's really cool as well. This one's really, really nice. It's going to be comfortable too. This type of pen, so this one's really good. It's a little thicker than the other pens. The thick ones work really good if you know someone that has like arthritis in their hands, like their hands are really have a hard time with a pen. This works really good. Most people that have arthritis that have gotten one of these larger pens have always said that they are the most comfortable pen in the planet to them. Because they don't have to go so tight on the grip. So if you know someone that has arthritis, or you have it yourself, it works really good. Or if your fingers just get cramped holding a pen. Yeah, I don't know. This one is absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is so freaking amazing. Look at those colors and that twist in there. I love it. Yeah, that one came out primo. Okay, while we're waiting for those to kind of cool off, I gotta pull some purple. So I've got purple in a size of glass called a slugger. It it's called a slugger because it's thick as like a slug. So we're going to take that slugger out. I'm going to pull it down a little while we're waiting for those to cool off. So we're going to bring it out, stretch it out, get it into its proper shape and size. There we go. So this is a big old chunk of glass. I mean, huge. Move this flower out of the way because it's in the way of it. That's a big old chunk of glass right there. You got to preheat these in the kiln for a really long time. So we got to heat it up and kind of shrink it back down into kind of like a useful size. I start from the middle. And here we go. So this has been sitting in my kiln for probably 8 to 10 hours. A little longer than I needed, probably, but you want to let it soak all the way to the core before you start messing with these guys, or they will want to break. So my initial pull, I'll pull a rod out of the middle, then I'll split that rod off, and then I'll put these two chunks in the kiln, then I'll pull them off the chunks. We got to start way out here. There we go. Getting bendy. We like bendy. Bendy's good. They're going to let that sit out. This is a beautiful color too. Oh, snapped it way off there. Oh, snapped off the normal rod. We're going to have to let it sit now. Going to have to let that one sit. Broke off its holding rod. So while that's doing that, we'll pull this one off. Yeah, that one snapped. This is the tanzanite purple right here. So this is what I call tanzanite. Oh, that's silver. Oh, hell no. Almost messed that up. Okay, we'll pull it from here. Now we'll just heat it here and pull it into its normal rod. Then we'll finish those pens up. Well, that clear's pulling. Oh, it's getting thin. That's all right, though. We'll pull this one down a little thinner right here. Just got to let it settle. There we go. This is a pretty purple. I don't know if you guys can see that purple color to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple. It's like gorgeous color. All right, we'll let that sit off. We can finish up the pens now. Gonna grab this one, which I really like. I think I'm just gonna put clear on here, to be honest. I don't want to wreck this guy. This guy looks really good. Put a little clear nubby on their kickstand. I like it. Yeah, that's like one of my favorites for the night. Oh, we need candy apple red. I thought I put candy apple over here. I did not. Let me get the candy apple red. And if it's not there, I know where it is. There it is. This color is absolutely insane. This is called candy apple red. You can see it is just exactly what it sounds like, candy apple red. We're going to park that up on the top up there and see if we can't get it looking good. I wasn't going to put it on, but I am. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm glad I went that route. That looks good. Oop, keep wanting to fall down though. And the last pen I have to maneuver is the flag pen. Actually, it looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad we bent that flag. That flag looks good wrapping around there. All right. I need to take a break though. It's 2.5 hours of live streaming, so I need to take a short break. I might not be back tonight, but we'll see how it goes. I appreciate y'all hanging with me though. It's been a pleasure. I'll see y'all in a bit. Maybe. Oh, it's not letting me. There we go. Okay, now I can go to this one. All right. Thank you guys for hanging with me. It's been a pleasure.